Welcome back to the Traders Network Show, broadcasting worldwide from Brussels, Belgium. I'm Matt Bird. We're here at the EU Parliament for the 2020 Blockchain for Europe Summit. And my next guest is none other than Frank Ricotta, CEO of BurstIQ. Frank.
Hey Matt, how you doing?
Oh, man.
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you again. I mean, we've trotted the world together over the last couple of years, and
yes,
we
we
keep
have.
crossing paths. And here we are descending in Brussels once again. And you just gave a terrific delivery up there on the use cases of healthcare and blockchain. Had some commentary, went back and forth. Can you give our viewers a little bit of an outtake on, a recap on your takeaway from the panel?
Yeah, I think it's really, you really see everything starting to accelerate forward now. More and more regulators are getting involved not to determine how to stop this, but really how to facilitate the evolution of a lot of innovation. A lot of thought about getting, again, more person-centric, and really leveraging where we play, health data to really foster new research and new solutions.
I couldn't help but notice that there's still a little bit of disconnect between the thought leadership and the thought leadership aspects of where policy and blockchain is going and the actual use case implementation of it. And there's a little friction between the two, because I think people want to see more of the stuff that you're bringing out there, and we're seeing a little bit diluted a little bit with, political messaging and posturing. Could you express a little bit, maybe get into that a little bit for us?
Well, I think you have to look at it from two sides. One, you have the existing industry and all the lobbyists associated with the existing industries and the advocates for those industries, which bleed over into the policy side. So they're looking at it, how do you maybe incrementally improve it or incrementally inject some of this technology or without disrupting the current care delivery models, where I think blockchain is really more about a philosophy and an approach to life as much of a technology that creates a whole different kind of access model in health. One where it's an everyday, all the time engagement model with the person, and it goes on over time. And that, from a regulatory thought perspective, I mean, the closest thing that's happened on the regulatory side is GDPR, which is trying to put more power back in the hands of the consumer with their data. And so there's at least some groundwork there, but we really have to think through the whole care interaction, care delivery models now.
Well, you've been at it for quite some time. What's been going on with BurstIQ? What have you been up to?
Well, BurstIQ, still trying. You're going to cut,
Just
right?
keep going.
Well, what we've been doing at BurstIQ, we're really seeing a lot of acceleration in our community adoption. And what I mean by community, we allow any health innovator, no matter where they are in the world, to get on the platform, use the platform. We don't charge them anything through their development cycle until they're really in production. And that community is starting to grow exponentially now, but more importantly, what we're seeing is they're starting to interact with one another. And so we have really good communities popping up all over the world now, which is something we had hoped would happen at the end of 2018 and when we were at the last blockchain summit, but we really started to see that mature in 19, and of course, we're seeing some really big enterprise adoption, particularly in the pharma and biotech space.
Are you finding that there's a correlation between the sandbox that you're providing and the adoption of the pharma?
Well, I tell you what's interesting is that what we're seeing from the bigger players who've been struggling with innovation, and how to facilitate innovation, particularly take pharma with digital therapeutics, the companion to some of their drug treatments or clinical therapeutics. And how to really accelerate that, without having to provide all the investments. What they're seeing in our community and how we handle our community is the ability to reach out and tap into crowd innovation, which is a whole new frontier for them. And we've been seeing some of that from some of the larger health delivery networks and hospitals that want to tap into that. So you're going to see a whole new wave there, I think, in 2020 and beyond.
You're giving them a way to dip their pinky toe in the blockchain pool.
That's right. For larger organizations, we're giving them an opportunity to publish your problem.
Yeah.
Kick it out to the innovation community, both the health innovation community and the blockchain innovation community, see what comes back, instead of trying to control and manage the innovation process, and you tend not to get much out of that.
I love it. Well, listen, Frank, we got a session starting up here in a minute. Can I have you back before the end of the day?
Yes.
Frank Ricotta, CEO of BurstIQ. I'm Matt Bird. You're watching Equities News. Special thanks out to our network affiliate partners, ABC, MSC, Fox, and CBS. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go away.